Oh no. Oh, I did obstruct it with the grill. Oh man. Hey everyone, Arahli here, and welcome to another episode of ARK Survival Evolved. Hope you're having a great day. I could not sleep. So, in the last episode, we built this big old base thing, this monstrosity, and I don't like it. We're building over here specifically to build next to this cool place with this big rock formation that can't be destroyed because it has this really cool little tree thing in it, and I feel like this giant monstrosity it doesn't fit here. I'm just not okay with it. So I actually it's like 6 o'clock in the morning for me, and I am never usually up this early. But I just can't do this. So we're gonna tear this all down today, and we're gonna build something new. I had a thought. We're gonna try it out. So I'm gonna go get some food so he stops making crazy noises, and then I will bring you guys back once we get everything started again. Okay? Welcome back, guys. So, one of the best things about the IronMine right now is that with this crazy place that they have kind of set up over here, this big mining place up here, I can come up here and just get all the materials I need to do some pretty massive stuff and kind of get us where we want to be. So, we came up here to make the grill. We're going to make ourselves some refrigerators. We're going to need to get some more stuff for some AC units, but we'll actually be able to get pretty well outfitted right away because I was able to come up here and just start gathering everything we need to get this stuff working. So I'm going to keep making some stuff. I will bring you guys back once we are heading back to the cove, okay? Alright guys, so we are back, and what we're doing now is kind of just tearing some stuff apart. I'm not going to do this for everything, but I figured that there's a couple things I want to make sure we make to get ourselves ready for the new build, and I figured that I'll just make sure we get enough materials out of this tear out to do that kind of stuff. So I'm going to work on this for a little bit. Yeah, and we're just going to kind of start working on this stuff here. Once I get a lot of this torn down, then we can actually come back and start building. I actually already marked out the inside a little bit for where new things are going to go, which I'll show you in just a second. Let me just get rid of some... Oh, okay. So you can see we've got a couple holes in here. I actually just put those things in to mark where the new things are going to go, to kind of outline it, and I'll show you a little more of that when we get to that point. But I just figured I'd bring you guys back before I get too far ahead, and then I will bring you back once we get this down to just the foundations again so we can start working on the new stuff. Okay guys, welcome back. We have everything we need to actually get this stuff built up, and we should be good to go now. So we went from that giant crazy structure to this, and we're actually going to take out the little spokes that are in there too. I just wanted to show you that that's kind of how I spaced everything out to make sure it was going to work in case you decide to build something like this yourself. So let's get landed here. Actually, let's get landed over here. Okay, so now we can get started here. So I think... Let's see if I remember correctly. I wanted to set this up a very specific way. Okay. Yep, so let's do... What we're going to do first, we're going to get rid of all these guys, these foundations here. On the way out to the first one here. And then we're going to need some wood fence foundations. So, let's just get rid of some of this stuff now, because we're not going to need any of our other stuff. We're just going to be building some stuff now. Okay, so I did find... Oh, I'm encumbered. Too much... Oh, I took way too many pillars. Alright, so I found out when I did this... I kind of tested out this idea. And I found out that if I have the foundations down first, this doesn't work. So I left them there because they were already built just to show you this. But so we're gonna actually take out the two foundations on the side, and then we're gonna do pillars right on the corner. We're gonna stack 3. Alright, we got a bunch of extra stuff now, so let's just get rid of that. now I can put those foundations back in. And we'll be good to go on that part. Okay, so we have to get some walls in next. Actually, we can put our ramps in too. So let's get our 3 ramps. We can put back this stuff for the moment. And then we're going to need a couple walls. And this is going to be the cooking one. So let's get our cooking stuff in here real quick. Alright. Get these guys in first. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the walls in. So we can kind of get everything else placed off of that. Oh, my bad. Okay. Then what we're going to do, Industrial Girl's going to go next. Let's pull this in this way. And then we're going to use this to kind of just want to make sure it's good and straight, which it is not now. Yeah, that's not bad. Then we're going to try to center it up. Yeah, it looks pretty good right there. Alright, Industrial Girl is in. Nice. And then on this back wall, we're going to do preserving bins. Same thing, we just want to kind of get everything lined up pretty straight. Okay. Looks like that's as close as we're going to get. And then how centered is that? It's pretty good. And we'll do one on the other side. Now, eventually, we're going to have a industrial cooking pot in here. But we don't have that yet. So that will actually go right here. For now, we'll just put down a regular cooking pot. It's so weird with the walls. It doesn't like to be too close to the walls on a certain side. So you kind of have to like find the weird spot that'll let you put it in. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Alright, so that is going to be our cooking area. And then we're going to... So cooking will be on that side. And then I think that the next one we'll do will be our crafting area. Yep, we'll do our crafting area next. Alright, so the crafting station is next. Let's get ourselves some pieces and parts here. We're going to need this guy, this guy, this guy, that guy. We're going to need a couple walls. Sounds like we've got a compy. Compy, get out of here. Alright, let's get this side rolling, guys. So we're going to start with the walls so we can get the Fabricator lined up first. Oh, what am I saying? We got to start with this stuff. Alright. Ooh, so heavy. Took. I need you to hold on to some stuff for me. Yeah, that's fine. You can hold those. Thanks, buddy. Okay. So we need to get ourselves some more of these guys. 3 of those. 2 of these guys. And then 6 of those. So let's start with that again. So this is the same deal over here, obviously. Just get these guys in place. Actually, this is a little easier if you leave the other foundations in place if you had already done that. If you didn't do that, then obviously this is... Just set it up this way. Oh, there we go. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Oh, boo. Have to get some more so we can make that stuff again. I'll tell you what, actually, before I start doing all the other stones, I'm just going to get this part set up on all of them, so we have to do this every time. I'll bring you guys right back. Okay, we got that part done. Let's get some walls in here. We can pretty much do all the back ones on this one. Now we're going to have to use the same kind of trick we used on the nest to get the smithy to fit like we want it to over here. But we're going to do the fabricator first. That's going to be just centered up right on this wall here. Alright, so it needs to go a little bit this way. Oh, that looks pretty good. Are we about centered? Right about... Okay, sweet. So let's get our forges down here. We need our smithy. Now we're only going to use the basic forges down here because we've got the we've got that big place by the volcano that these guys have set up that we were just at to build all this stuff, and we don't really need to have anything crazy down here. We'll probably just use this as kind of a supplemental thing for us. So actually, we need to put those two. This guy here. Now this is where we're going to do that other smithy. So before we do that, let's do that first. Just get this lined up so it's at least somewhat straight. Looks pretty good. Then we'll just come in for the wall, and then we're actually going to kind of tuck back a little bit because we're going to put the forge in the back, and I want to try to put a little small box up front as well. So that should be good right about there. And then we can actually put in all the walls and stuff now. Okay, and then we should still be able to fit this right in the corner. Yep. Same on this side. And then we've got our table here. Which we want to try to line up about the same as we did on the other side. Looks like we're just a little off center on that. Good. Okay, and then we're going to just put the mortar and pestles right on there. So we have ourselves a nice little spot for spark powder and narcotics and stuff like that. So it looks like we're running into a fabricator here, so I can't get it over quite as far as I want. Oops, my bad. I don't know if you guys have noticed this too, but there's like this little weird spot right here that is kind of rubber bandy, and it's not like the ping and stuff is totally fine. It's not like some weird, but you see, like you can kind of see it's got this little weird rubber band thing, and it's only right in this little section right here. So I'm not sure if it's just some weird thing with the geometry or what, but yeah, we have kind of a weird laggy thing right there. Okay. We're gonna need our small storage boxes now. those guys are just going to kind of just tuck right in here on both sides. We should be able to do both sides. Yeah. Okay, close enough. Alright, so there's that for us. I think that the next one we're going to do is going to be the electrical one, which is, this is kind of a pain in the butt. So I only made one of these pieces, so I had to be very careful not to screw this part up. So to get this to kind of work, we're going to have to center this up, and actually we'll probably do this right off the... Yeah, we'll probably do this right off the back. Can I get rid of this or not? Yeah, okay, get rid of this one. Let's go drop that stuff real quick, and then I'll show you what we're going to do here. What we need to do is we need to have the very back end of this cable kind of like right here in front of us. And this is the kind of the hard part is, you know, we're like, I can't it's hard to get this straight because I'm against that wall in the back. Alright, let's see if we can just okay. Yeah, the hard part is that we want to make sure it's kind of level, and to do that we need kind of an exposed piece of the material to do that with. It's not too bad. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So we want to get it to... Oh, that's a little too far. Okay, you can see just in front of me that the green tip is directly in front of my face. That's what we want. Okay, awesome. That should let us put the walls in place like we want and still be able to snap the generator in with the placing that I want for that too. So, and then we actually need, while we're in there, we can just grab, we're going to need these guys, we're going to need the two straight cables as well. Okay, so let's get the back wall in. Actually, we can get all the walls in. There's nothing that should impede us on this one. Okay. Let's get in this generator. That is the way we want that to look. It gives us just a little bit of spot back here in the back. And then this is always a little scary because you can't tell if it's snapped or not. So I'm going to just hope that it does because you can't see where it's going. The only way to really check is, yeah, to put this in. So you see that actually snapped right there, so that's good. Alright, good, perfect. So that's exactly where that needs to go for all of that stuff. And then we can get our refrigerators and our air conditioners. Just drag these guys right into the bar as well. Okay, so let's get the fridges in place next. We can do the K again. Looks like we're just a little bit off the one direction. That's pretty good. Oh. Okay, we'll just tuck in this way. Actually, you know what? Let's leave room in the back. We'll put boxes back there instead. So we'll put this right up against the pillar. Because our head's there, it keeps popping us out of the K mode, which is fine. We'll make do. Okay. Those are all placed, and they are all connected now to the box there, which is perfect. Now I want to get these guys in place as well. Pull back in a little bit. And then we're just lining up off that wall again. And now this is a little different because they can actually, the air conditioners will have no problem kind of going through the wall. So you can't use like where they go red to tell where it needs to be. All you can kind of do. Oh, I keep forgetting about that. Okay, so let's do this. That looks pretty straight. If we do this, yeah, we're golden. Okay. And then these guys can actually overlap, so we're gonna kind of have to eyeball off the edge to make sure. And this is gonna be where we do like hatching and that kind of stuff. So we have dino breeding and we have eggs and stuff. If we have 5, now typically I try to do 6 just for the CSA, but 5 should be just fine for anything on this server. Just the one last one to fit in there. Awesome. Alright, so that is going to be our refrigeration and our hatching area. And this last one over here is going to be for storage. So we're going to need a couple more walls again. And then we're going to need a whole bunch of boxes. This is actually, like, this is the one that's got to be the most precise, but it's also the one that doesn't require as much crazy work to kind of get set up. So we're just going to get our walls in place first. Again. Almost done, guys. Once we get done with this part, I can put the roofs and stuff on and kind of show you the little bit of decorative stuff. And I have another idea I want to try out, but I have to gather a lot of materials for it, so that'll be a little bit still. Okay, and this is the one I actually need to place one of the corner pieces first, because I just want to make sure that I'm not going to have to worry about overlapping anything the wrong way. So let's go, and we're done with the walls, so we can put those back. So we can place these guys in. We just need to place one of these guys up to make sure that when we put this in, we won't have any issues with it going all crazy on us. Okay, so let's line this up on a back wall first. Looks like we can go just a little bit that way. Yeah, it looks pretty straight. Okay. And just to make sure, can't get any closer. Okay, so now we should be able to come right over here. And on the edges, we're going to go right up against the wall, as close as we can get. And then we're just going to pull forward until it goes green again. And be careful because we want to place a whole bunch of these here. Okay, I'll bring you guys back as soon as this is done. So the last storage box is going in right there. So that's our storage right there. And it's not a huge crazy amount, but that should be more than enough for what we're working on here. Alright, so that's the basic stuff there, guys. Let's get the finishing touches kind of in place here. We need the rest of these guys. We're going to need some thatch roofs. We're going to need some slope thatch roofs. Get this stuff down in here. And then we're also going to want these railings. Well, it looks like we're getting close to sunset, too, so gotta hurry up here. Oh, no. Oh, I did obstruct it with the grill. Oh, man. Okay, well, I gotta go remake the grill. So I'll get the rest of this stuff done. I'll remake the grill, and then I will show you guys the rest when I come back. And we got it done, guys. So we've got our cooking station over here. We've got our fabrication building station over here. We've got our incubation. Yeah, incubation, that's right. Incubation and refrigeration station over here, and then all of our storage is over here. So let's go ahead and get this guy turned on. Everything powers up. Good to go. And then everything's good over here. I'm going to start actually putting stuff in all their boxes and stuff. Let's take an aerial view real quick so you guys can see what we're looking at. Get right on over here. So yeah, there we go. We got the four different little spots for it. Now there's something else I want to try still, which I don't have the materials for it. So that'll be another episode. We're gonna try some other stuff out for it too. But so yeah, I think this just, I don't know, this just feels better than that giant bulking crazy building. It fits better with the scale of what's next to it, and it still gives us all the same stuff to do. Now I can just build myself a little house and we'll be good to go. This looks great. I like this a lot. Walk right in here. Access to anything we need. Alright guys, that's going to do it today. We tore down the entire base we started last episode and built a whole new one with a different design this time. So I hope you guys have liked it. I had a good time doing this today. I really like how this turned out. I think it looks much better than the other one was going to. And then like I said, there's a couple things we're going to try afterwards too still for this. So if you've enjoyed it, please feel free to like the video, and you can always subscribe for more content. And I will catch you on the flip side.